Hi everybody, Ralph Shaheen, the voice of Supercross here with you. Let's take a look at the SX2 Championship standings coming in to the Australian GP here in the Gold Coast of Australia. Max Anstey, who has been perfect all the way up until tonight in qualifying, leads the championship with 90 points over Cody Schock, who sits back at 74 markers. Then it's Enzo Lopes and Shane McElrath, the reigning champion, and Cole Thompson in the top 5 in the SX2 Championship. And now we get ready, Daniel Blair, for the first race of the night. It's an 8-lap affair, race number 1 for SX2. Qualifying is done, Super Pole is done, practice is over. We are just set now to go racing. That's what it's all about from this point forward for the rest of the night. There are the riders in the gate all set to go. "30-second board is up. The Gold Coast of Australia is known for its stunning beaches and incredible surf locations. Tonight it is where you will find the largest gathering of the best Supercross racers on the planet. They are here for one reason, the quest to be crowned world champion. Drop the gate! Headed off to the first corner, and Anstey's on the inside on the 99. Can he ride his night? He's not going to get the whole shot. As you see the rest of the field, Cody Schock coming through there, but Anstey is right up in the mix, Daniel.
And that is how you back up what you did in qualifying in Super Pole. This is a tone-setting race for Enzo Lopes and a big opening lap for Max Anstey.
Lopes out front on the number 16, riding for Rick Ware on the Yamaha. Chasing him is Max Anstey on that Team GSM machine.
Different rhythms right there. Max gets that big triple. Enzo singled in. They come out the same. And here's the big test, and it will be all night long.
All through the whoops. Here we go. Lopes gets through there great. Anstey gets through there even better. And Cody Schock and Shane McElrath do as well. McElrath squares up the next berm as they come over the finish line jump. McElrath inside. Here comes Anstey pushing on Lopes already. Inside. New leader? Yes, new leader here on the Gold Coast.
And he didn't even wait. He didn't let for the race to settle down, let Enzo Lopes build a little confidence. He says, no, I need it right now. I'm going to take it. That was aggressive. Great move by the points leader.
Every race that we've had this year in an SX2 category event, Max Anstey has won every single one of them. 8 laps, 12 laps, main events, premium races, doesn't matter. He's won everything. Maximum points all the way across the board for Max Anstey in 2025.
And this is a big moment for Enzo Lopes too. You've been great in the whoops all night long. Can you pull it right now? Anstey a little quicker in, little quicker out, and now you got Lopes looking up behind him on his teammate Cody Schock. That's not a good sign. And if you're Max Anstey, that little gap that you got allows you to take the lines that you want. Look at McElrath.
Here comes McElrath trying to make a move, but guess what? Cody Schock takes advantage of it on the 69, and he will be back in front of McElrath.
And these are your top 4 in points, so seeing them up front is not surprising, but the order's a little bit different than we've seen this year. Shane McElrath has had a tough go as your defending champ. He had body issues at round 1, bike issues at round 2, but he looks better tonight.
Keep an eye on the 43 back behind them, the red bike. That's Cullen Park, who just missed out on Super Pole by what, 100th of a second, something like that? And here he is in 5th and closing. And the guy that he's been battling with all season long, Cole Thompson, is 2 spots back behind him, with Maxime Desprez between the two. Here's McElrath looking inside. His Schock takes the spot away, and McElrath moves up into the top 3.
And I think we're seeing the passing spots on this track. It's after the whoops, after the finish, and in the first corner. Those are the 180s. Oh, look at Schock coming back up the inside.
Cody Schock up the inside. McElrath trying to find a way to defend it. He gets a pretty good drive off the corner, hugs to the inside. Great side-by-side battle, but Schock is a little quicker off the corner and into the wall jump.
That was great defense by Cody Schock. Shane McElrath wanted to get him back in that right-handed 180. Schock gave him nowhere to go, but now look, Cullen Parks joined the party.
Yeah, as we said, all that fighting between McElrath and Schock has allowed Park to close right in. McElrath right along the top blocks as he blitzes through the whoops. He was very quick through there.
Yeah, and last lap he was closer, so he had the chance to make the pass. This lap he was a little further behind, but you saw Enzo Lopes having a little issue there too, where Anstey is really starting to check on these guys in that section and route. We talk about the starts and the speed, but Anstey's been great in the whoops too. We're seeing it now early in sprint race 1.
Shane McElrath, the reigning SX2 champion. Oh, McElrath way loose, and Park gets by. Park clips the top blocks, and that'll give McElrath a chance to come back, but he can't get it done through that rhythm lane. And Cullen Park moves himself up to 4th, and the reigning champ slips back another spot in frustration.
And that's how quick things can change. Remember, 2 laps ago, he's playing offense. He's looking for a way around shock. One mistake turns to 2, and the next thing you know, you're on defense, and then the big mistake lets Cullen Park by. And now for Cullen, you got a free run at Cody Schock. What can you do with a little open track?
Well, and it also continues the problems for Shane McElrath, who had physical issues at the opener, Argentina, mechanical issues in Vancouver, and today, I don't know, what would you call it, Daniel? Just riding issues?
Yeah, little mistake. I mean, 1 turns to 2, and that happens as a racer. When you make a bobble, it's hard to recover and get back on pace. And then when you make the second one, you start second guessing. That leads to a 3rd mistake, and it's really hard to recover. The rider who's making no mistakes is Max Anstey, and this is why that pass on lap 1 was so important. He's been able to ride somewhat free since then, and if he would have settled into Lopes' pace, this could be a completely different race, but he did what he needed to do early.
Max Anstey was crowned champion of the SX2 category in 2023. He is well on his way to his 16th race win in SX2 competition in his career. McElrath sitting here in 5th. This one winding down quickly, scheduled for 8 laps, 10 points up for grabs. And even though Max had issues in qualifying and Super Pole, he's looking to be perfect still in race competition.
And I gotta point out, the track looks good compared to what we saw in qualifying. They got some moisture in, they worked it in, but it's still slick, and it might even be a tougher type of slick because that little bit of water they put on, it might take a race before it really works itself in. So you see these mistakes, these are coming from maybe a little bit of a false impression on what that dirt looks like and what it really feels like.
Here's one of the spots Anstey's so good as he rips across the top of the woods.
Yeah, it's the entry speed. I mean, when you come in that committed, that trusting, that fast, you can just carry your way out. We saw Lopes make a little mistake here and there, and that's all from the entry speed. And Max, that confidence, we've seen it from A to Z. Everything he's doing this year is just on another level. And
the best battle on the racetrack is coming up right here. It's a fight for 3rd between the 69 of the Rick Ware Racing Arby's back machine of Cody Schock, and closing in on him fast as the Moto Concepts Racing entry, the number 43 of Cullen Park, as we are on the final lap here in the opening race of the day at the Australian GP.
And we've been talking all week. Cullen Park's riding has not matched the results, but it's been from issues outside of his control. A big 2nd place finish in the first race of the year, and then issue after issue after issue. So this is a big bounce back and a rebound for Cullen Park.
Here's Max charging at you once again. To the finish line jump, and Max Anstey gets career race victory number 16, with 2 more possibly getting added to that total here tonight as we get set for race 2 and 3 in a little bit in SX2 competition. Lopes, Schock, Park, McElrath, the top 5 in SX2 race number 1, as we finish this one off with Wageman coming across the line in 11th. Now, Max Anstey, we've seen this picture every time we've had a race in World Supercross competition in 2025 at the end. The winner, Max Anstey. So let's take a look at the full page results of this one. Confirmation of how they crossed the line here tonight in race 1. Here it comes. Anstey, the Brazilian Lopes, and then it's Schock, Park, and McElrath in the top 5. Desprez, Thompson, Hicks, Chisholm, and Peters rounding out the top 10 here in race 1. All right, let's go down trackside now and get with Kristen Beat.
Max Anstey with a first lap overtake on Enzo Lopes. You double took the inside. How did you determine your passing points, Max?
Honestly, it's a tricky track. It's slippery, and man, the boys are pushing hard, so got to go back, refocus, and go again. Got to hug that inside a little bit more on the first turn. He snuck around, but overall, pleased with that. He's riding great. Now, 2 more to go.
7-0 this season. Congratulations, Max Anstey.
Seven and 0, what a number. He said he's not chasing perfection, but he'll take it if he can keep getting it. And boy, Daniel, he's doing everything right still in race conditions.
And Ralph, when he made the big mistake in Super Pole, you asked the question, can he bounce back? How important is it for him to bounce back? And I think this pass right here, super aggressive, was him answering that question. I'm not fazed by the mistake. I'll take one on the chin, it's okay, and then he sprints away. So I'm very impressed with the way he responded to his first mistake of the season.
Yeah, the challenge, though, what Super Pole hurt him on is the fact that he doesn't get the ultimate pick that he wanted gate-wise, because he's got to start in that gate now all night long, and it might not be the one he really wanted.
Well, and he said Enzo Lopes snuck up the inside, and Enzo will be inside of him all night long. So if you're Max and you want to avoid that from happening again, you better get the jump and move over, because if Enzo's there, pushes him wide, we might see that all happen again.
But ultimately, none of that matters. It's who gets to the checkered flag first, and it's still Max Anstey doing that. So here's a look at the standings. 10 points goes to Max Anstey as he takes the win. 9 for Lopes, 8 for Schock, Park, McElrath on. Huge crowd on hand here tonight at Seabus Super Stadium. Here's the SX1 Championship standings coming into our Australian Grand Prix. Ken Roczen on top of the board, 20 markers up on his teammate Jason Anderson. Christian Craig, Joey Savacci, and Gregory Aranda, who's having a good night in Australia, rounds out top 5. Getting ready for SX1 race number 1 here in the Australian Grand Prix. Here's a look at the riders getting ready to go here in SX1 race number 1. It's going to look like this: Christian Craig and Jason Anderson and Joey Savacci as we work our way across the gate, Daniel.
Well, and I like those first 3 gates because of what we saw in SX2, and these riders picked the gate before that race, and after watching what they saw with Enzo Lopes up the inside, I'm wondering if they're questioning that pick now, but they don't have a choice. They're stuck in these gates for the night, so I think that it's going to work out okay for the good starters, but I'd watch Christian Craig sneaking up that inside tonight.
Well, Joey Savacci's the quickest one so far, Kristen.
Not where you want to be, but tonight you seem to be finding your flow.
Yeah, I mean, I'm tired of not performing. I've felt good. It's just, yeah, I haven't executed my job. And it's been frustrating, I'll be honest. Obviously, Argentina didn't start off great. I had a big hit in practice. But, yeah, I mean, Vancouver was almost a step in the right direction. I just needed to execute a little bit better. But, yeah, I feel really good today. I love being back in Australia. Yeah, I mean, I'm just excited. There's a lot of good guys here, wild cards. So it's good racing, and looking forward to trying to be the upset.
And we're looking forward to following that. Best of luck tonight, Joey.
And Kristen, some breaking news here in our SX1 category. Everybody's been excited to see Haiden Deegan run a 450 for the first time in Supercross competition, which we got to do in Argentina. He's back riding for the second time in a Supercross format on a 450 here tonight in Australia. But yesterday, Haiden and his father Brian confirmed to me Haiden will not, I again say will not, ride the 450 in AMA Supercross competition in 2026. He will go back to the 250. Not sure which coast he will ride. He will make his appearance again on a 450, Daniel, not until the outdoor motocross season gets underway. What do you think of that decision?
Well, personally, I'm bummed because I wanted to see it. I'm excited about this kid's future, and I wanted to see what he did with all the legends this year. But he's following the traditional path that we've seen most recently. Riders like Chase Sexton and Jet Lawrence starting in the motocross portion, because these kids grow up on motocross. They're more comfortable. Supercross is something that's more learned. And yeah, he's going to give it one more go in the 250 before he moves up permanently.
One thing I asked Brian, his father, I said, did you learn anything from your daughter Haley's try at NASCAR? And he said, yeah, not to rush things. And he said, so we don't need, he goes, he's only 19. There's no need to rush this. Let's make it perfect. And we'll get him off the 450 for the beginning of Supercross, and we'll get him back on the 450 in the summertime. All right, let's focus now on what he can do here in his final appearance in a Supercross format on a 450. As we see where Roczen, Tomac are at, and Savatgy right there, and Jason Anderson. Man, this is a stacked field.
Yeah, so many champions, and what I like is that this is what I call the 30 club. These guys are all over 30, so they're continuing to be fast and strong, but their racecraft has gotten better and better with age. So this is just a group of guys who refuse to move on, refuse to retire, and they're still elevating their game each and every. We saw in Vancouver between Roczen and Tomac, they were as good as we've ever seen them. Tonight is going to be a big test for these boys as they take on, though, the 19-year-old who now has nothing to worry about future-wise 450. It's just all about tonight.
Yep, that's right. They call it Seabus Super Stadium here on the Gold Coast of Australia, and it is packed to the roof here. Not an open seat anywhere as we get ready to go. This is another 8-lap affair with 10 points on the line for the winner. 20 seconds away from the start of this one. You see the 30-second board. She'll turn it sideways and exit the racetrack when she's told to by the official, and we'll be ready to go. So are you ready for SX1 here at the Australian GP? Let's drop the gate. Aranda with a great start on the 20 goes wide, but Savatgy tries to come up the inside, and Joey is going to get the lead early on that number 17 quad lock Honda. Man, Aranda is right after him, and look at Eli Tomac, and coming with Tomac is Roczen, and also in the mix is the 28 of Christian Craig for the other quad lock Honda. Roczen with a bit of a bobble, and that's going to cost him at least 3 spots through there.
Wow, I'll tell you what, the sound of 450s off that gate gives me absolute chills, and I can only imagine what Joey Savatgy felt in that first corner when he made the move to the lead, gets up front, backing up Super Pole. What a feeling.
Yeah, he's going to get a whole nother feeling here too, as he's getting hounded by Eli Tomac on that Red Bull KTM. Tomac,
wow.
Roczen tried to get to the inside on Craig, and it didn't work out, and you can see Craig look back over his shoulder at him as he squirts away.
But this is Ken Roczen's MO. He likes to attack early, make moves, so I like the aggression. He just wasn't able to make 2 of those moves work, but he better hurry, because if Tomac gets by Savatgy, gets that open track, good luck in an 8-lap sprint. But like Joey, look at what he's doing here, playing great defense, leading the way.
And look at Christian Craig as well. Craig on the other quad lock Honda is all over the backside of Tomac. So they've got him bookended for now. And there's Cooper Webb. Webb is up to 6th. And he's trying to close up on the backside of Roczen right now.
Yeah, and he's hoping that Roczen and Aranda and
Craig inside on Tomac. And Christian Craig makes a great move to put the quad lock racing Hondas 1 and 2. Oh, and then he bobbles and hands it right back to Tomac in the KTM.
You know what?
Roczen now gets inside of the 20 of Aranda, and that'll move him up a spot, give him 4th for now.
I think the fans are loving this action early in this race. We've got battles all over the place, and if you're Christian Craig, do it again. I mean, that should be a confidence lifter to follow up with the way you rode in practice today. You passed Eli Tomac, he's sitting right there. Get him again, and you better hurry, because here comes Kenny.
Yeah, well, Tomac's getting a little aggressive, too. Looks like he's tired of waiting. He fended off Craig, and now he's thinking, I better just get around this 17 and get going, and there it is! Tomac makes the move, and the Red Bull KTM goes into the lead. The thrill and the applause of the crowd here in Australia. Savatgy tries to attack back in the 17, can't get it done. Inside he goes. Tomac cuts it up. Oh, and he almost T-bone Savatgy, and Roczen gets around Savatgy on the outside. Great racing action here at the Australian GP.
Incredible, an incredible racecraft.
Savatgy looking inside on Roczen, but Kenny gets away.
Kenny was so sneaky through all that. He made the move by Craig and Joey, and he's so good in those moments, and now we get it again. Vancouver 2.0, it's Tomac and Roczen. Let's go.
Tomac trying to find his line, get his rhythm going. He knows Roczen's there, and Roczen ready to battle his old nemesis here as they fight a pair of world champions. Tomac, the reigning world champ. Roczen, a two-time world champion. And here they come through the whoops. Look how quick they are. Oh, Roczen squares it up but can't get him at the finish line jump. Tomac goes inside. Roczen takes the high line to the next corner. Roczen on the outside again. Can he get it done? Yes! Ken Roczen to the lead.
15 years of this. These boys go back to their youth. They've been battling since the 250 days, even mini bike days, and here they are in their 30s, pushing the limit. And for this moment, Ken Roczen makes the move and gets the better of the #1 of Eli Tomac. Great work, Kenny.
And this is exactly why we have a sold-out stadium here on the Gold Coast. These Australian fans have been so anxious to see these top-level legends battling it out just like they are here tonight, and these racers are delivering in the Australian GP.
And think back to those mistakes.
Oh, Roczen,
oh man,
tapping into the tough blocks. He was so close to the edge of the track to the whoops.
Ralph, a first lap mistake, a second lap mistake. He recovers, he regroups, and that racecraft comes into play. He gets Craig, gets Savatgy, nice and slick, and then one-on-one with the legend Tomac. This is an incredible moment and ride by Ken Roczen.
Not only did he get around him, he's pulling away from him. The gap right now is 1.5 seconds.
What an answer from Vancouver.
And this is almost done. We're already up to lap 6 here of the scheduled 8, and Roczen looking for 10 points here.
Just a perfect balance of aggression and craft and throttle control on a slick track. I mean, Kenny is at the top of his game right now as the battle heats up between them teammates. It ain't over with them.
Tomac still getting through the top of the whoops as good as anybody ever has. And Craig and Savatgy, this is a bit of a blow, I gotta believe, to Joey Savatgy, Daniel. Not only has he lost the lead and second, but he's lost third to his teammate.
Yeah, tough go after winning the Super Bowl. Hey, Jason Anderson got smacked pretty good by Aranda there. Took him out in the corner before the finish line jump. You're gonna see his name drop. Yeah, down to 10th now, but good ride by Christian Craig. He needs to build off of what he did in those early laps. Joey Savatgy, fast and Super Pole, but tough first race for him.
And Cooper Webb up to 5th and closing. Big problems here. That was Savatgy on the, and guess what? Webb goes by. Savatgy with a huge problem. Webb gets around him, and Joey loses another spot.
Yeah, you don't often see teammate on teammate crime right there. For Christian Craig, he keeps it together, goes wide, looks back, Savatgy loses the spot. Wow, there might be some words back in the Quad Lock Honda truck after that one. That was pretty aggressive after that quad.
And unfortunately, team owner Yuriv Konski not here tonight to keep things cool if it does get elevated passion-wise.
Yeah, this is sprint race 1. I mean, with what we're seeing so far, I think we're just getting started on the night, but this man is so impressive. And again, it's hard to lose a Supercross race and then bounce back the next weekend on a legend like Eli Tomac, but can he put his head down in that one? I mean, he was perfect from lap 3 on, and that's great recovery too, because those 2 big mistakes could have cost him and shook him up a little bit. It did nothing of the sorts.
On to the final lap here. Ken Roczen out front and leading. The points leader coming to the checkered flag. Ken Roczen will win SX1 Race 1 here tonight at the Australian GP. For Ken, that is his 14th race win in his FIM World Supercross career. And he brought this crowd to its feet early and often in this one as he fought to the front of the field and put Tomac behind him. All right, Kristen, let's hear from him.
Ken Roczen, that was an exhilarating watch to race to watch as a fan. I'm even out of breath for you. What was it like from your vantage point? What a great battle to witness.
It's warm. I mean, it's a lot hotter in the stadium than it is outside, actually. So I didn't get off to the best start, and I made a couple of mistakes in the very beginning, and that cost me. It is so slippery and dry. It's tough out there. You just got to be so easy on the throttle. Quite a few 90-degree turns, so just careful to not push it.
Ken, this is your 5th GP race win of the season.
You heard Ken talk about the weather. It is incredibly hot, extremely humid here tonight, and it's every bit of 94% humidity, so it feels. As you take a look at the SX1 Race 1 results, Roczen, Tomac, Craig, Webb, Savacci, your top 5. Haiden Deegan, we didn't even get to talk about him, but Danger Boy finishes 6th, with Anderson back in 8th. So now we are headed toward the second race of the night for SX2. This will be another 8-lap race with another 10 points up for grabs for the winner. And the key, again, will be Max Anstey. Can he stay perfect, Daniel? We'll see.
Well, what I'm watching to kickstart this race is going to be that start. Can Max Anstey execute what he's done all year long, which is off the pad, make a good shift, and then get over enough to protect the inside, because he recognized Loeb snuck underneath him. So I'm watching Max on this start. How far over to the left can he get, or will we see an absolute replica of Moto number 1?
Well, as we saw in Vancouver, Max, as you take a look at the gate picks where they'll be lined up, McElrath, Loeb, Schock, and the rest, Max, who will be in gate 5, was perfect coming out of the gate at the start of every race in Vancouver, was the first one to the corner. Each race, he got a little bit further out in front of everybody by the time he got to the corner 2, and then ended up having total pick of the line that he wanted entering into turn 1.
So pretty scary, because he gets better as the night goes on, and that's tough news for the competition, because that first one was pretty dang good.
My guess is right now that bobble in Superpole's pretty far back in the memory of Max Anstey.
Yeah, not worried about it anymore. You go out and get that big win, get that checkered flag, 7-0. He's feeling okay.
All right, we'll see. Can Max Anstey stay perfect and win another one here, the Australian GP? All right, let's take a look as you see this huge crowd on hand here tonight. What a thrill for them to see all the best riders in the world here tonight. Max locking down the front, and let's check in with Kristen.
Thanks so much, Ralph. I checked in with a few of the SX2 riders leading into this second GP race, and all of them have expressed deficiency in their bike, all of their bikes feeling underpowered here. I asked some of their mechanics why. They said the humidity, the climate is actually affecting the power output on these bikes because of that 80% humidity we're seeing here on the Gold Coast.
Kristen, another thing with that, I talked to Brian Deegan about it, and he said Haiden is frustrated with the lack of power he's seen on his 450. He said, yes, the humidity and the heat is part of that, Daniel, but also the fuel. You know, everywhere we go around the globe, we're seeing different fuel, and the engine mapping has to match what's with the fuel, and if you can't get it right, you're down a lot of power.
Yeah, think about this championship. It's a global series that's moving all over the world. We're in Buenos Aires. Then we went north to Vancouver, and it was really cold out. Bike's going to run a certain way. It is hot. It is humid. We're in an open stadium here, so a complete change. And yes, the fuel plays a role, the mapping, everything plays a role. And this track's tough. There is some tricky rhythm sections, and when your bike's not working exactly how you know it to be, you second guess a little bit. So that's going to play a role as we get into this night.
One thing about being down a little bit on power, if we do have a slippery racetrack like we do, being down a little bit of power can help you get off the corners.
Yeah, it might actually help in areas where you need it to be a little mellow or find a little bit of traction. So the jumps, that might be an issue when you're trying to navigate the power you need off of each obstacle, but maybe a little bit uptick in aggression on the flat corners and the dry slick parts if your bike is operating at a little bit of a deficiency.
There's the Arby's back number 16 of Enzo Lopes, the Brazilian rider. We know everybody down there in Brazil tuned in watching him, even though it's very early in the morning over there right now. But They're huge fans of Supercross and huge fans of Enzo Lopes, and they are supporting their guy who's having a good night, racing for Rick Ware, riding the Yamaha number 16. There's Shane McElrath, the reigning champ, on the number 1. And we are 30 seconds away from the start of SX2 race number 2 here, the 2025 Australian GP at Cebus Super Stadium. All right. Anstey, you can see him 4 gates over from the doghouse where the big W is to the right. He's got Shock to the inside and Thompson to the outside. Are you ready? Here we go. Anstey with a good start on the inside. Gets tight to the bottom, takes the lead, and one rider down hard coming through the rhythm section right after the first corner. Didn't get a chance to catch a number in all the dirt that went flying up. But Anstey's out front. You got Lopes right behind him. Then here comes Shock on the 69. And Park, Cullen Park. Yep, that's Cullen right there back in 4th on the 43. And he's going to get around Shock to take 3rd away as they come into the whoops.
And Max Anstey executed that start perfectly. He got the jump, made the shift, and Ralph, he moved over, hard braking, and now he doesn't have to pass Enzo Lopes this moto. The battle is right behind him, though. Yeah,
and we have to give credit to the 460 right behind them. That's Michael Hicks on the start, who got a tremendous start. He's up to 5th.
Good ride by Cullen Park to get up front a little earlier than we've seen. He's had to make a lot of passes this year, but he's up front now in that top 3 in a fight with Cody Shock. This was a battle that was forming late in race 1. We're going to get it here in race 2.
And Daniel, I believe that was Caleb Barham who went down, unfortunately, making his debut in FIM World Supercross competition here. As we saw Shock make a huge run. There's Barham right there. He's up and riding away as Shock on the 69 gets back around Cullen Park, and then Park trying to find a way back past, and another rider down.
That would be Lopes.
Yes, it is Enzo Lopes. Enzo Lopes gets off into the tough blocks, and down he goes and out of 2nd place, dropping rapidly.
So much going on right there. Cullen Park misses the triple, but gets back by Shock. Now you got McElrath and Hicks in a battle with Shock. Lopes down, Anstey nowhere to be found. He's gone.
And Hicks just putting the heat on the reigning champion McElrath, and joining the fray is Kyle Chisholm. Kyle Chisholm on the Pipes Motorsports Group Suzuki number 11 gets around Hicks in all blue riding gear.
And a big mistake by Cody Shock. That's where that tough block came from. Lost the rhythm sections, had to double through.
Look at Shock, gets back around the 11 of Chisholm just like that with a huge twist of the throttle.
This is not what it looked like a lap ago. Everybody has switched positions. Now Cullen Park's alone. McElrath's alone in 3rd. Shock had his issues. Chisholm joins the party. Here comes Thompson. Kalana Humphrey making his debut. Oh, no. Lopes.
And Lopes is off. Lopes is done. He rides back to the mechanics area to get the bike worked on. He'll be back for race number 3. But no points for him here in SX2 race number 2. Best ride of the season so far for Kyle Chisholm as he's up to 6th. And I love seeing Michael Hicks in 4th. Great start for him.
Yeah, he was really good in Buenos Aires in race number 2. Haven't seen him since, so good for him to get back up in that lead group. But Max Anstey is being rewarded for executing the perfect start. And the start isn't always just off the gate and the shift. It's what you do in the first corner. And he had great braking, moved over, a lot of awareness where the competition was. And that's why he's rewarded right now with the clear track, and he is long gone.
We are up to lap 5 as the leaders fly over the finish line jump. It's Anstey, Park, McElrath, Hicks, Shock, Chisholm, Thompson, Peters, Humphrey, and Desprez, the top 10.
You know, Kristen mentioned the power of the motorcycle and how that's playing a role. And Ralph, I think the chassis is as well. It's so slick. You want to soften up the bike so you can find a little traction, but this track's got steep jumps and big whoops, so finding that perfect balance in suspension, it's been a fight for these guys all night as well.
Chisholm got back around Thompson, so put him back into 6th. And the Canadian slipping back a spot, Thompson. Meanwhile, Anstey absolutely perfect. Oh boy, gets a little loose there on the back end.
And those are getting tougher. I mean, Enzo Lopes is one of the better riders in whoops, and we didn't see the crash. We saw the end of it. For him to go down, being as big and strong and talented as he is, you know the back half of that whoop section is getting cupped out. It's getting slick. We saw Max Anstey, who's been the best all season. He gets a little kick out, and we're still in sprint race number 2. Those are going to get tougher, Ralph. We're not even halfway through this night.
How long till we see them start jumping through those whoops, Daniel?
Well, they didn't do it in qualifying, so if they're going to do it, they're going to have to find it in the moment, and that's really challenging. Justin Cooper was a wild card in the first 2 rounds of the season. He was always the first to find that rhythm. Without him here, I haven't seen anybody do it yet, so it's going to have to happen in the moment. But if they get any tougher than they are right now, the option will at least become available in their mind, but it's going to be tough to get it that first time.
Here's the fight for second right here. The 43 apart, trying to hang on in front of Shane McElrath, the reigning world champion in this category. And you see Park and McElrath both get through that big whoop pad fairly smoothly.
Different lines too. I mean, that's what's telling you right now how challenging they are when these guys are looking around. Maybe the left works for a while, one bad lap, you start looking for the right. So at least there's 2 options moving forward, but these guys are going to be challenged for the rest of this night. It's only going to get tougher.
And here's Michael Hicks on that 460. Thompson, Chisholm, and then behind Chisholm comes Kyle Peters on the 110. Pretty good ride for him as he sits in 8th right now.
Yeah, making his way back through the pack and trying to find a way by Kyle Chisholm, who you said is having a great race right now. We've seen him kind of sitting in this area most of the season, but we had a few laps there where he was closer to the top 5. And they're all settling in right now and kind of spaced out. So less defense, a little less offense, more just survival as we go 1 lap down, or sorry, 1 lap to go in SX2 race 2.
Final lap underway here in race number 2. Last year, Kyle Chisholm finished 7th overall in this category. His best finish, a 6th at Cardiff, the very first FIM World Supercross race, and he matched that in Vancouver a year ago.
That was beautiful. I mean, the way he entered that corner, the braking technique, his ability to roll up the throttle, a smooth delivery all the way around. You match that with perfect rhythm sections. He's not clipping anything. I mean, Ralph, he's really locked into this really nice pace where he's not having to take any chances, and it's just clean. You see that early shift right there. I'll bet he gets another one going into the corner. This is just calculated and absolutely perfect fundamentals.
And look how good he is through that whoops. And Max Anstey to the checkered flag. He's got another one here in 2025. Max Anstey wins race career victory number 17 here tonight at the Australian GP as he takes SX2 race number 2. And another 10 points go into the bucket for Max Anstey as he works his way towards the 2025 championship and his 2nd FIM World Supercross title. What a run for Anstey and Team GSM as they stay absolutely perfect in every race. And here's something he's done again, and that's an interview with Kristen B.
I was actually just noticing on your bike all the movement you were making throughout that race, because you can see it by your graphics. But Max, during that race, a slight bobble through the whoop section. What did you say to yourself after that moment?
I tried some different lines. They're really tricky, they're really slick. And I actually said to Austin, my mechanic, I was a little too aggressive. I've got to be a little more gentle with the gas. It's so easy to break traction. My bike's working great. Shout out to all the Star Racing Yamaha crew back in Cairo, Georgia. The bike's amazing. Thanks to everyone here tonight. We've got 1 more to go. Let's go get it done.
The win streak continues.
It is just remarkable, Kristen, because so many little things can go wrong in a Supercross race, even just an 8-lap affair, and Max has been perfect every time we've dropped the gate. Anstey, Park, McElrath, Schock, and Hicks, the top 5 in race number 2.
Daniel, I'm standing by with Cooper Webb. Cooper, You're making your World Supercross debut, but also a debut on a brand new bike, a new chassis. How are you adapting?
We're getting used to it. We're getting better each time out, but we're definitely still struggling in the whoops a little bit. That's the area we need to work on. So kind of stuck with what we got right now. We're dealing with obviously running some different fuel and stuff, so the bikes haven't been running great all day, but we're racing, man. We're learning. Just getting to try to get a good start with my gate pick and try to get back closer to the front of the pack.
Cooper, thanks so much. He's looking to improve on a 4th place finish in GP race number 1. Guys, I know Cooper Webb entering this series had higher expectations for himself. I'm looking for him to try to make the podium.
And Jace, for him to be able to do that, he's going to have to get a better start. But he mentioned with his gate pick in World Supercross, you carry that pick all night long. He's a little bit on the outside. So unless he just nails this one, he may be playing catch-up all night long.
But you mentioned it before. If we do go through to jumpers tonight in the whoops, Cooper Webb is going to be able to make up massive amounts of time, especially if guys in front of him have moments. But you're right. I think that he is going to be coming through the pack for the rest of this.
Another 8-lapper, 10 points up for grabs. As we said, Daniel, this track is just going to continue to deteriorate. Any other spot outside of the whoops where you're seeing some issues developing or not?
Yeah, I mean, the flat corners are just getting tougher, and these riders by nature are so aggressive. They want to hit everything hard, but they have to be patient. So right now it's just about finding that balance, but they're legends for a reason. They're the best in the business at adjusting. That adjustment is coming right now.
There's Henry Miller on the 29. Beautiful city views of the Gold Coast of Australia. I don't know about you, Daniel, but this has quickly become my favorite part of Australia.
It's been amazing. From the moment I landed till this very moment, it's been exciting. It has been hot. We are sweating up here a little bit, but the riders have it worse than we do. And the battles are going to get tougher, and that racing is going to get longer. So for them, the challenge is still coming.
And now with my flight getting canceled tomorrow, I get another day.
That's right. You get to enjoy the Gold Coast. Yeah. I'll be out of here right early. I'll hit you up when I get home after I watch a few more Games of Thrones episodes.
Right. Here come the rest of the riders making their way by us. You see Christian Craig on the 28. There's Aranda on the 20. He's had some real flashes of brilliance here tonight. What do you think he's got going now as he gets ready for race number 2?
Well, I think he's just in the moment. And sometimes as a rider, you feel a track. You feel good on it. You get your confidence going. And you're battling with all these big-name guys. And you just roll with it. You just stay on track, get in there and battle. I will say, though, Jason Anderson got hit pretty hard by him in that race. We'll see if that resurfaces here in race 2.
Kristen, what can you tell us?
Thanks, Ralph. I checked in with Martin Davalos, team manager for the Firepower Honda team of both Joey Savacci and Christian Craig, who have been having phenomenal nights. I asked him what are his expectations for his team, and he said, listen, we're not there. Yuriv Konski, team principal, Martin Davalos not present here tonight, but they have been utterly frustrated with the season so far. They told their team no more excuses. It is time to perform, and we're seeing it from both riders tonight.
They're getting the performance, but they're not finishing the job.
Well, and there's some pressure in team dynamic, too, and I have to imagine it's even worse now after that.
Coming together.
Yeah, and you know what? I don't think that was meant to be dirty. That was a big quad, and when you land off a quad, you're trying to break. I think it was just a kind of a bad angle he took, but hey, guess what? You make contact, you still remember.
See the points available, 10 for the win, 9 for second, and on down to 1 for finishing in 10th. Everybody getting the goggles in place now. You see Cooper Webb to the right of the W. Haiden Deegan just to the left of it on the 38. He had a top 10 in race number 1. Can he improve here in race number 2? Tomac next to Roczen and Savacci and Anderson and Craig all over there to the far right of the gate. Get ready, here we go. World Supercross Championship, Australian GP, SX1 category, race number 2. And it looks like it's going to be Tixier on the 911 getting a tremendous start and jumping out in front of everybody.
Wow, Cooper Webb.
Yeah, Cooper gets by and gets out front, and now Cooper doing what Cooper does, and that's pull away.
Yeah, and he is so smart, so crafty. His ability to nail that start, and not only the start, but the first corner, then aggression right off the top. I asked Jace, can he do it from out there? Well, he just answered he can, and now he gets the lead in World Supercross.
Savacci's already around Tixier as well. He's up to second. Here comes Anderson on the 21, and now Ombre makes the move to take over third, and Tixier is dropping the anchor on that 911 and falling quickly back through the field.
And we are about to see a display from Eli Tomac and Ken Roczen, who are both outside of the top 5, battling with riders that they're not typically around. This is going to be a very important first 2 laps for the number 1 and the 94.
Here comes Tomac from 8th. He's got Devin Simonson in there with him as they're working through the field. And there's Roczen back in the middle.
And the crowd is cheering, I believe, Haiden Deegan and Jason Anderson.
Here it is right here. There's Deegan and there's Anderson. Deegan on the blue bike, Anderson on the yellow.
And I think the introduction has been made. The crowd went crazy. Deegan goes by as we watch Tomac and Roczen. Looks like a Stark off the side. Vince Freese off the side of the track. Ralph, we are getting some action early in these races. In the front, in the middle.
Roczen all the way back in 11th, trying to fight his way through. Meanwhile, Cooper Webb 2 seconds up on Joey Savacci in the lead. Here's Roczen around to the outside, cuts to the inside, and he picks off 2 or 3 right there in one corner.
This track is racing so awesome right now. It's Christian Craig.
Craig goes down on the 28. Back up and going, but he's going to lose a spot or 2. He's back in 11th right now.
And you know what? If you're Ryan Brees, good on you, man. Get up front with these guys. It's not often you get Eli Tomac and Jason Anderson. This is a great opportunity for him to make a name for himself just in the battle alone.
Tomac to the inside on Brees, gets around the 200. He'll move up a spot that puts him to 5th. Brees is not done. He's going to battle with him. But as they come over the finish line jump, it's a couple of bike lengths now between Tomac and Brees as they exit off the corner. Here's Anderson still chasing Deegan. That's a fight for third. It's Webb, Savacci, Deegan, and Anderson.
And Webb is up 3.7. I'm telling you, there is no mind like Cooper Webb's. His ability to learn and adjust in between races, execute his start and be gone. That's just special. And how about Haiden Deegan now making his way up to Joey Savacci? And I'll tell you what, he is running from the 21 of Jason Anderson because there was contact made. And this 450 debut has gotten a little spicier here in race number 2.
Savacci, that bike dancing around on him. Deegan gets across the whoops beautifully, carries a tremendous amount of speed through that corner. And Haiden Deegan closes in on Joey Savacci. Man, that rear end really kicking out on the 38 Yamaha. Deegan is charging.
I like the way he rides the bike. You know, Ralph, there's this discussion about having to modernize around the 450 and make changes. He will over time, but he's not going to change who he is. He comes from that Carmichael Tomac vein where he rides with everything he's got. He will become a better version of this, but he ain't going to change.
He has caught Savacci, and the race is on for second here in SX1 race number 2. Haiden Deegan making his final Supercross appearance for 2025 and 2026 on a 450. He'll go back to a 250 for the AMA Championship. Deegan going for second. Over the finish line jump, bar to bar. He cuts inside, down low. He got him. Haiden Deegan takes second and looks over to Savacci and says, "Better get used to me, pal. Here I come."
For a 19-year-old to have that kind of racecraft.
He had a big mistake there, and Savacci goes right back by. Deegan back to the inside. Cuts down low. Big handle. He's back out in front.
Wow, man. 19 years old, making mistakes. That's okay. So aggressive.
And right into the face of that rhythm jump. And look at Anderson now coming up to battle on the Suzuki. 3 riders fighting it out. Yamaha, Suzuki, and Honda battling here with the KTM of the champ. Eli Tomac getting into the mix. What a great lesson for Haiden Deegan to fight with these tremendous racers and be in front of the pack. He's got to stop looking back, though.
Yeah, that'll be learned over time. He'll have to stop looking back, but right now I think he's just making sure he doesn't get blasted because he's playing with the big boys. He's playing rough.
Oh, no,
he's down.
He tucked the front and goes down in the corner. What a shame.
Yeah.
And Daniel, I got to believe some of that is because he was looking too much back.
Yeah.
And you're not focusing so much on what's in front of you.
100%, but he is here to learn. Brian said it, we're here to learn so many lessons. Go back and just review those couple laps. There's so many lessons in that. I love what I see.
It was so good. Oh, Tomac with a huge mistake. Don't worry about it, Haiden. Even the best in the world do it.
That's right. The legends make mistakes too, man. What a fun race.
And Roczen got around Tomac, who has another bobble right there. Savachi is up in front of those two. He's in third. Then it's Roczen and Tomac rounding out the top 5.
And Brees, he finally gets him back. After all of that, he gets to pass Eli Tomac.
And
wow.
we are on the final lap. What a night of racing here at the Australian GP, and Tomac is still struggling with the backside of that Red Bull KTM. Meanwhile, this guy out front, Cooper Webb, on a wild card appearance here tonight, having a tremendous run at the Australian GP race number 2.
He has no clue what is going on behind him, and let me tell you, he does not care. He didn't want anything to do with that, and that all goes back to that execution. This man is so smart, so calculated. Oh, he's just gonna, there you go, there's a 3, and a 2. So he found it, Ralph, you asked, there it is.
Cooper Webb, checker flag lighting the candles here at the Australian GP with the victory in race number 2 for SX1. Anderson, a superb ride to second. Oh, and down goes, is that Craig? Yes.
Yeah.
Craig goes down. Unfortunately, he had a top 5 finish. That goes out the window. Wow, what a race here in race number 2. Anderson, Savachi, Roczen, and Brees round out the top 5 in this one. That's exhausting, and we didn't even race that one.
I'm tired. My heart rate is at least 150, maybe more. And Ralph, that's why the fans show up. It's for that. That's what makes Supercross so special. It's the unknown. It's the unpredictable. And we got all of it right there. A great ride to Cooper Webb to avoid all of that.
All right, Kristen, take it away.
You guys, I have something to show you right here. This is how hard Cooper Webb was hanging on. It's actually peeling back the graphics on his number plate. Cooper, congratulations. Welcome to the World Supercross Championship. To take a win in front of a full house here on the Gold Coast, and to do it in such extraordinary fashion, fighting off all the pressure behind you. How are you feeling right now?
Man, that was awesome. You know, I got a great start and got to a lead and led every lap and had some solid laps in the whoops and then just went conservative mode. Heard a lot behind me and I was just plugging away, doing my laps. Felt awesome to lead, get a win, even though it's a moto, feels great. And yeah, excited for this last one and put myself in a good position to go out there and excel in overall. But I want to give it up to the good Lord. All these fans are great. I want to give it up to Star Racing Yamaha, Monster Energy, Fly, 100%, Alpine Star, my mechanic Peanut, my wife. And yeah, it's great to be in Australia racing tonight, and to get a win is awesome.
Cooper, well done. And guys, just the battle scars from a hard-fought race back there.
Well, he's a multi-time champion in the AMA Championship in the United States on both the 450 and a multi-time champion on the 250. And now he has a World Supercross victory here, the Australian GP, to go along with those Hall of Fame level stats he's already building upon. Cooper Webb, Jason Anderson, Savachi, Roczen, and Brees with a great ride. Paulatelli shows up just outside the top 5. Tomac gets a 7th. Tixier got the whole shot, ends up 8th. And then Craig and Freezy rounding out the top 10 here in race 2.
Man, still breathing heavy after that.
Dude, I'm gassed. I am absolutely gassed after that one. That was fantastic. All right, SX1 race number 2. Highlights, oh, there's plenty of them. Starting with just this, the start. Look at the whole shot to the inside the 911 gets, but then it's Webb who comes jumping through on the 2 and quickly gets to the lead.
Yeah, the pass here, that won him the race because it was just chaos behind him the rest of the time, and he didn't have to deal with any of it.
And that's why we always say the start is so important, because the first corner is always chaos, and you never know what's going to happen after that.
You know what's crazy to me, though, is Eli and Kenny were so far back. Christian Craig, 2 crashes in that race, but Ralph, they were so far back that they were in an environment that brings this type of stuff on. How about that, though? That was so fun.
Haiden Deegan did so many things right, one little thing wrong, and he's going to learn from all of it, and you can see the racecraft is there. As we said earlier,
dumped it.
He told me yesterday he is not going to run the 450 AMA Championship for Supercross, but he'll get back on the 450 when they get to the Outdoor Championship. All right, more coming your way from Australia. Australian GP SX2 race number 3, getting ready to go. You know, Daniel, you guys were just talking about Max. I spoke with Max earlier today. We were walking together coming out for track walk, and I said, are you starting to feel the pressure about wanting to go perfect throughout the year? He said, not really, because I know that anything can go wrong at a blink of an eye. He said, listen, I would love it. Championship is the most important. He said, if I'm in second, I'm not going to do anything crazy to get the win. But if it just comes to me, hey, so be it. And so far tonight, it's coming to him.
Absolutely. And if you think back to the first race, he made an aggressive pass early. That wasn't a desperate pass.
No, it's not stupid moves.
It was smart. It was just calculated and aggressive. But he's good at racing aggressive, and there was nothing risky about it. So he's just found another level. And I love the attitude. I love what he's saying. But as we get closer to the end, the pressure does rise. That's natural in all sports. So we'll see if he can continue to say the right things and do the right things, because we're going to continue to ask. The more he wins, we're going to ask, hey, now you're 7-0, 8-0.
And because of that, you might say it's almost better to lose one, put that to bed, and just focus on the championship and not have to deal with that anymore.
Yeah, you don't want to lose one on purpose, but sometimes you just, one out of the way means, oh, I don't have to hear it no more. But actually, I'm sitting here in my own math and realizing he's 8-0. He actually has won twice tonight, so my bad, Max. You're 8-0 now, so that's even worse when it comes to the pressure.
Here's how the points shake out now that we move on to race number 3, the main race. 25 for the win, no longer 10. 22 for second, 20 for third, and on down to 11 for finishing in 10th. And what a night for Cullen Park.
Yeah, this would be the night, as Jay said, where the riding and the results have come together. But it all starts with the start. You've talked about it multiple times today. You've got to get up there, and he's been so far back this year. But tonight he's been in that lead group, which gives him the freedom to make better moves around better riders. So it's give him some credit for getting off that pad and being great on the first lap, because that's played a huge role for him tonight.
A good start is important in every form of motorsport. That's an obvious thing. But it's so much more important in Supercross because the races are short and the first corner is so chaotic. And if you can get a good start and get in front of all that, it can make all the difference in your night.
Yeah, you just don't have a lot of time, and sometimes there's chaos around you that you can't control. So it's not just about getting a good start, it's about being smart early. And you're right, there's no time to recover from something bad. If you're up in that lead group, better things happen too. So it's been very obvious tonight how important it is to be up front, because we've had a wild night of racing.
So again, the gates don't change from how everybody finished up with qualifying and Super Pole. You're stuck in the same gate again. Good, bad, or indifferent. Hasn't hindered that guy much at all. Cody Schock trying to get one for Rick Ware.
He's been great in race 3s all year. He's usually at his best at the end of the night.
That's very true. Some guys just take a little minute to get warmed up, you think? Is that kind of the deal there?
For sure, but I also think with him, it's the power of his mind right now. He's really made a change on the way that he thinks about things when they're not going right. So he's becoming one of those late night, late lap just tough mental guys. It's just part of his development, and he's finding that right now.
Hey, I always do pretty good late at night, so, you know, some people are night owls, right?
That's right.
Maybe that's the deal. All right, we're 20 seconds away from the final SX2 race of the night. Can Max Anstey stay perfect in every race so far in 2025 in SX2 racing? Let's find out and drop the gate. Anstey not first to the corner, but he's on the inside. He's going to come out in about third. He's got McElrath in front of him and Hicks in front of him. And Kyle Peters with a great start right up the inside on Max Anstey. McElrath out front, Hicks running in second. Anstey looks like he's holding down third. Peters with a great start on that Venom Bud Racing entry.
That's his best start of the night, too. McElrath, way to bounce back. He's had a rough one.
Anstey just gets him right there with Hicks on the inside. He got through those whoops so good, Daniel.
Yeah, that was a great run. That's pretty much what he's done all season long. But now, let's go champion on champion. All right, Anstey's won this thing. McElrath is your defending champion. This is a battle that we expected coming into the championship. And if you're Shane right now, maybe a little frustration is going to give you that fire to get one on Max Anstey while Cody Schock tries to find his way in the third.
This could be exactly what McElrath needs to end the win streak for Max Anstey.
And this might be the race where Anstey has to make that decision, because this is going to take a lap or two to get going. And maybe he just gets him really quickly because that's what he's been able to do. But maybe he starts second guessing, because this track has been tough. We've seen a lot of crashes tonight.
Well, the best thing Max can do is get up there and put some heat on the backside of McElrath. Shane has made some mistakes tonight. He's one that doesn't normally succumb to pressure, but that's probably the best thing Max could do right now. And here's Cody Schock, the late arrival on the night, as we predicted, making the move on Hicks. This would be for third. Schock trying to get to the inside, not there yet. Schock on that 69. And hey, look who's back. 43, Colin Park, just in front of Kyle Peters and Peters' teammate, the Canadian Cole Thompson.
Yeah, Schock needs to make this move very, very fast, and he's faster, so he has the speed, but Colin Park also has the speed. So for Cody Schock, find it, be aggressive, do something, because Colin Park has been great tonight, and he is right there in the shadows.
Well, Hicks is a champion, not at Supercross, but at Arena Cross, so he knows what it takes to be a big winner.
Yeah, and Arena Cross racers have craft, because you have to have it to be successful there, so this might be a battle of craft versus power.
He gets a little out of shape through that whoop section, and Schock right there. That's the move he was waiting on.
Very aggressive, cut under. Hicks is going to go up the inside, but Schock very smart there.
Schock has the momentum around the outside, and now Colin Park starts to size up the 460.
Hey, so we're a couple laps in, and Max Anstey is not winning. He's still sitting back about a second, 1.3 on Shane McElrath, as Colin Park now tries to be the one making moves on Hicks. So two battles going on this track.
Park to the outside of Hicks. He's around.
Big mistake by Hicks there. Doesn't get that 3 in the rhythm section. Colin Park moves a little to his left. Good work, good instincts. And now the battle is on for that podium. Those two are coming in very close in points.
Peters trying to think if he can get his Cowie around that 460. Hicks on the start, the electric motorcycle. Making its debut in World Supercross competition in 2025.
You see at the top of the screen, Anstey's closing a little. He went from 1.3 to 1.1. Now it's back to 1.2, so still sitting in that same spot.
And he's getting those times from his mechanic as they go past the mechanic's area. He can sense that he's closing, but he's getting confirmation on it and encouragement to keep digging. He's there now. He's there now. The fight is on for the lead and the win here. And what could be the overall as well for Max Anstey.
He did that
another
big
clean
quad
sweep
out of the rhythm section too, which is what cost him in the Super Bowl. So he's not afraid to go back to lines that gave him issues, but good job, Shane McElrath, hanging in there. He's improved in the whoops in this main event.
Shane is not going to be easy to get around, that's for sure. The rider out of North Carolina has that #1 plate for a reason. He's a 2-time FIM World Supercross Champion. Anstey looking for his 2nd World Championship.
Going back to what you said about taking risks, instead of just being aggressive and forcing it, he's going to have to be a little bit more calculated with a champion like Shane McElrath. So I see a rider who is taking his time because he's going to have to make a smart move, maybe not an aggressive move. That seems to be the play here for Anstey.
You see the live GP standings. Anstey's got a couple of points up on McElrath. Cody Schock sits 4 Mac behind that. Cullen Park in 4th. Oh, Anstey to the outside, cutting back inside. Can't get him just yet, but McElrath senses him right up alongside.
Yeah, Anstey's being very patient, very smart, not forcing the issue. Right on him.
Separating these two right now in those live standings. Anstey trying to shake that up a little bit if he can get around for the lead here. Tries to cut back in, can't get it squared up enough. He'll follow him over the wall, Joe, for now.
You know, this is fun to watch, too, because Max has spent so much time alone this year. But now to be in a position where he has to play this game, it's a test of his craft, which we haven't seen much of because he doesn't have to ever use it. So I really like watching him work the track, move around, getting to see that other side of Max Anstey.
In order for McElrath to win the overall here tonight, Anstey's going to have to fall all the way back to 4th, which the way he's riding right now means he'd have to crash. Anstey to the outside, lots of speed, new leader.
So smart. So smart. Instead of cutting under, he knew he had just the space. He also knows that Shane is not a super aggressive rider. He's not going to put him over the berm. And you saw him just kind of sit back and then shoot around that berm. I mean, that's just some smart racecraft by a guy who's got his game together.
Well, as you said, we've seen his speed all season long. Tonight, we're seeing the racecraft, and there's a reason why Max Anstey's a world champion. That's it. And he's on his way maybe to his 2nd world championship.
That's fun to watch. You know, I mean, we get these chaotic battles where we're just like, can't believe our eyes, but it's fun sometimes to see a one-on-one with 2 respectable, smart, calculated riders play the game, and that was a lot of fun to see them both execute. Shane was playing great defense too, but sometimes one guy's just got a little bit more than the other, and we saw that there.
Yeah, Shane didn't really do anything wrong.
No.
Anstey just found the opportunity. But we've still got a handful of laps to go here, and anything is possible.
Yeah, and if you're Shane McElrath, look, this is a massive bounce back to the front, but a win would feel so much better. And he's got less to lose for sure, so Shane's not going to give in on this. If he can keep him close, if something presents itself, he'll go for it, but starting to lose a 10th at a time.
Now you can see the speed out of Anstey as he's out front, clean of McElrath, putting in quick laps and opening up that gap to 1.6 seconds in what, a lap and a half?
Yeah, and this is starting to look like he did late in that 2nd race where he just went into calculation mode. He just went into, you know, perfect fundamentals, just execute. But this battle is still on. Good recovery by Hicks also to stay with these boys. But the Park Schock battle, that's been on tonight.
Max Anstey has already claimed 135 championship points here in 2025. Stunning season for sure. Englishman just putting on a heck of a show. And Cullen Park on the Moto Concepts Racing Honda sits in 3rd, number 43. His best ride of the year for sure.
It's a great opportunity for him to stack those points too with Enzo Lopes, who's in front of him in championship points. I mean, he's back in 15th right now, so 2 bad races in a row gives Park a chance. Oh, Schock with a big quad right there, but it gives Park a chance to now move up in those standings. Shane McElrath is still in there, so this battle for 2nd was Schock, McElrath, Park. That's going to be a fight all the way to the end of this championship, and Lopes, really, really tough night that started so well.
Oh, Park really struggling through the whoops that time. Getting close to the final lap here. Cody Schock. on that number 69, 28 years of age, out of Delaware. And Cullen Park just in front of him.
This track has produced some great racing. This soil being dry and slick, it really challenges the riders to find the balance. They're wired to be aggressive. They practice aggressive. They train aggressive. They think aggressive. And then you have a track that you have to give some respect. It makes things go wild. That's what's happened tonight.
Yep, no doubt about it. Anstey on his way looking for his career 18th race victory in FIM World Supercross competition. If he can hang on here on this final lap, it will be his 5th overall win in FIM World Supercross career victories.
Just perfect.
Well, guess what, Max? You're going to have to hear us talk about it a little bit longer.
Yep.
Max Anstey on his way to being perfect on another night here, this time at the 2025 Australian GP on the Gold Coast. And he showed us another trick up the sleeve, and that's his racecraft tonight, which has been every bit as good as his race speed. As he comes around the final corner, Max Anstey, perfect again as he lights the candles here at the Australian GP. McElrath will be second. Here's Park, quick look over the shoulder, Schock nowhere near. Park will get third in this one. Schock will cross the line in fourth, and we await the arrival of Michael Hicks over the finish line jump. There it is. No, Kyle Peters gets him. Hicks is dropping. He must have gone down somewhere. Yes, he did. He's on the far side of the racetrack. Big problems on the final lap, unfortunately, for Michael Hicks as he continues to slide backwards on the start. And our guys in the graphics department only need this graphic for an SX2 race this year.
That's all they've used.
It has not changed once in 2025 as Anstey gets another one.
I'm anxious to hear his interview because he was challenged in this one. This was different for him, and when you're out front winning him a certain way, it feels rewarding, but it also, there's not much character with the win. This one took some character. I'm anxious to see how he responds to Kristen's question, how this one was different than the rest, because he did have to work and play the game.
45 points available each and every night, and one of our FIM World Supercross GPs, Max Anstey, has taken 45 points home each and every round of the first three of 2025. Here's a look at the highlights, Daniel.
Not a great jump right there for Shane McElrath. Look at Enzo Lopes had a lot better start, but Shane went in there like a bowling ball, man. Pushed his way, but that's what you got to do if you want to be up front. And the way he's had this season roll out for him, he had to do that.
Yuriv Konski said no excuses, and Shane said, I can do that.
Yep, that's exactly the case right there. And got out front, rode a great race. Anstey was calculated, he was smart. Hicks was good up front early too.
And I don't think Shane has any excuse here tonight to say, hey, he raced hard. Max just made a good move on him at the end there, and wasn't much he could do.
Yeah, and if you're Shane, I think you still walk away from this with some positive feeling. You don't want to give up points, of course, but that was a good ride. Yeah, so heading in the right direction. That was a great race for him on the trajectory back towards the front. So I wouldn't imagine him to be too upset. Maybe a little race frustration, but that all racers have that. That was a good ride, though.
That was the move. You saw it there. Unfortunately for Hicks right here on that 460, he went all the way back to the bottom of this one on that final lap. Oh, that was it.
That's it.
Yeah, that'll do it.
That was big.
Max does it again. What an impressive ride, and they can only shake hands. A pair of world champions there. Shane knows Max is just a little bit better on this. Well, now it's to the podium they'll go. And the man out of Newbury, England is where he was born. Now he calls Winchester, England his home. Max Anstey wins another GP, this time in Australia, Kristen.
Max 9-0 on this season. Although in that GP final race, Shane presented you with the strongest opposition you've had to battle all season long. How is this win different?
That was awesome. Shane's been riding great. I mean, there's a reason he's got the #1 plate on his bike. But I'm feeling good, man. My bike's been working well, and it was a dig tonight. Man, it's hot. It feels like it's got hotter as the night's gone on. I don't know if that's just me, but man, it's warm out there. But luckily, I get to train on the East Coast, East Coast of America, and it's pretty hot like this in the summer. So pumped with my riding, pumped with the bike. Shout out to the Star Racing Yamaha crew, the collaboration with GSM, with Team GSM, and the whole French crew here. Awesome to be part of this World Supercross Championship. Happy to be here in Gold Coast, man. It's been a lot of fun. I love Australia, and looking forward to next week in Sweden.
Max, these are the kind of seasons you dream about, from Winchester, England to the Gold Coast of Australia. And Shane McElrath, this season, compounding issues. How have you battled through those, and do you feel closer to the Shane that we saw in 2024?
Praise the Lord, we're rebounding. The AMX Honda team, we're working. We've had our work cut out for us. Max is hitting his marks, and we're playing catch up a little bit. And that was kind of the best effort we've had. My starts have been a lot better. First moto, not so much. Second moto, my whole shot button broke. And that one was like, okay, we're in this one. And so, yeah, we're going to keep working. Yeah, I'm having a blast here in Australia. We got 2 more countries. It's pretty crazy. Travel schedule is quite a bit, but being here in Australia, it's like we love it every time we're here. So praise the Lord, we're going to keep working, and we're just getting started.
This is Shane McElrath's second podium of the season. The delay is really bad. Okay. And Cullen Park rounding out the podium here tonight. That track was intense, to say the least.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, it was a treacherous night. I honestly kind of struggled in qualifying results-wise, but man, I felt really good, and I knew I just needed to bring that to the main events, you know. Got a bad start, Moto 1, ended up 4th, and then with that 2-3, I earned this podium. Big monkey off the back, man. I'll be honest, I thought I'd be up here 3 weeks ago at the season opener, and just ran into some misfortunes. It was mainly on me, but man, yeah, I'm just stoked to be up here. So many people to thank. The Lord Jesus Christ to keep me safe. The MCR Honda, Smart Top, man, I'm traveling the world racing my dirt bike. It doesn't get much better than that. We're racing with no fear, baby. It's back. 100% Alpine Star EVS. My mechanic, Aaron, man, he's working his butt off. Mechanic, Austin back home. Chris as well. My trainer, Blake Savage, Keith Harrison, Jason Fowler, Tony Alessi. So many people to thank. My parents back at home watching. And yeah, I'm stoked to be up here. And anyone else I forgot, thank you so much.
Team manager Tony Alessi said it this offseason. He said this will be a season where Cullen Parks opens eyes.
And Cullen Park from Claremont, Florida gets a career best finish in FIM World Supercross competition with a 3rd here at the Australian GP. Here's the championship standings. Max Anstey just moving out a little bit further, 135 to 107, which Cody Schock has. McElrath in 3rd, Park in 4th, and Cole Thompson sitting in 5th as we get ready for the SX2 category to move on to Sweden.
Charlie Cannon joins us back at the desk to break down some Supercross action. What a night so far. The traction obviously has played a role. We talked about that earlier. It just seems to have gone away. It's gotten slick. You're from Australia. You're used to this kind of dirt. Take me through how difficult it is to ride on soil like this that just seems to get slicker and slicker.
Yeah, over the night you can definitely tell that the dirt's been getting away. It's super dry and slippery out there, but I think that's made for some really cool racing. Every moto we've been on the edge of our seats watching some 4-way battles, so I think it's made the racing so much better.
What do you make of that battle that we got in the last SX1 moto? We had a 4-rider battle. Haiden Deegan had this crowd on their feet. From your perspective, that had to have been wild.
Oh, that was, and as a rider, I know what it's like to be in a battle, and it's crazy. I've been this year lucky enough to have some awesome battles with Lala, going back and forth. So it's awesome for the fans to watch, and
crazy.
One of the coolest parts of the night is the podium and the celebration and the national anthem. Jason, you told me before, you love this part.
And with the red plate tonight in the SX2 class, retaining the red plate, please put your hands together for Max Anstey. Please stand if you are able for the national anthem of Great Britain.
Australian GP. Tomac and Roczen and Webb all ready to battle it out one final time and one last look at Haiden Deegan on a 450 till next summer in the U.S. Fans have had an amazing night here at the FIM World Supercross Australian GP. They packed the SEPA Super Stadium and they have enjoyed every single lap of competition here so far.
Yeah, what a night. So many wild moments. I mean, we're going to have to go back and make notes on just the 15 to 20 moments tonight that are discussable. And you know what I like too, Ralph? Ken Roczen and Eli Tomac. Ken Roczen, Cooper Webb. Eli Tomac and Cooper Webb. These riders racing this long into their career, there's so many memorable battles between all of them. And we're going to get it one more time, and they all have a reason to go big in this last one. Eli needs to rebound. Kenny's got the overall on the line, and Cooper Webb's coming off a great race, too. We're going to get another good one here.
Think those guys have had some fun tonight?
Oh, yeah.
You betcha they have.
Oh, yeah.
What memories they're going to take home. And they're going to be bugging mom and dad to come to the Australian GP in 2026. You can be sure of that.
Or book a flight to Sweden.
Yeah,
next
yeah.
weekend.
And quickly, let's check in with Kristen.
Thanks, guys. During the break, I spoke with Haiden Deegan. He was fired up after tucking the end after GP race 2. He's dealing with some undisclosed bike issues, and he's struggling to trust the bike in this environment. Imagine the pressure for this young rider. You have previous champions breathing down your neck. You're racing in the premier class, and you're still trying to find your settings. Mounting adversity for Haiden Deegan tonight, who's already racing with the determination of a veteran. I just spoke with him once again. I asked him, what's the objective here? He said, go out there and give it all I've got.
And I think that's that engine mapping that they're still struggling with, trying to get that bike dialed in the way that he wants to feel the power come through on that Yamaha. And we are here on the Gold Coast of Australia. Beautiful Gold Coast. We've had so much fun. Broad Beach, Surfers Paradise. It has been absolutely spectacular all weekend long.
Yeah, what a great trip. So much fun, this World Supercross Championship. We get great racing on Saturday night, but the whole trip, the ability for riders to take in the culture and do fun things for our Kickstart show. I mean, it's just been a fun trip so far, and we still got one race to go.
And how welcoming have the folks been here on the Gold Coast? They have made us all feel right at home.
Yeah, it's
so happy
great
to have Supercross folks in town. All right, sighting lap is underway. The last look at the racetrack before we drop the gate, and they go at it in anger. 3 minutes till the final gate drop. Get yourselves ready. These folks are. One more shot at it. Let's take a look at the points in SX1. Did you see Tomac? Here comes Webb. Points allocation, how they pay out. 25 for the win now in this 12-lap race. 22 for second, 20 for third, and on down to 11 for 10th.
Here's the big one. I love the format. They wait this final race to matter, so you can't mathematically sneak your way into an overall.
You're gonna have to,
yeah, you're gonna have to earn it late when the track's at its toughest, when you're at your most tired. It's gonna be a good one. And hey, and I'll tell you what, Eli and Kenny, I'm watching them on this gate. Like, they were terrible on that last start. Whatever you did, you gotta do something different in this one, because
don't do that again.
No, because Cooper Webb, he's the smart one that always adjusts correctly. He made his adjustment. They better make theirs right now.
And you know, one thing that's a little different for Haiden Deegan this week compared to his debut race in Argentina, Brian, his dad, wasn't there.
Yeah.
He's here tonight, So he's helping, I got to believe, to keep Haiden focused on what's really important here tonight.
And that is very important for a 19-year-old kid who is ambitious. We saw the ambition, but also has the bigger picture in mind. So to have Brian here guiding, he's done a great job all the way through this pro career. Having him here, you and I talked to him. Everything is a calculation for them. And I have to imagine that there was a discussion between race 2 and 3 on how to go about it, because that boy right there, he wants to go after it. We saw that in race 2. He's going to do it again, but there's definitely a big picture at play at the same time.
Well, he knows he left a little bit on the table there in race number 2, and he wants it all. Looking around, sizing everybody up. He's got Austin Politelli just to his right there. And then you've got the 46 of Justin Hill. And on the other side of the doghouse, it's these guys. Boy, are they good. Hey, Brees could get another great start on that 200. Keep your eyes on him. Don't count him out. Ryan on that Moto Concepts Racing Honda. But there to the right side of the W, the doghouse, you see Cooper Webb. And then jump a couple, you see Roczen and Tomac and Savacci and Anderson right there with Craig on the far outside. So you would assume the best start hole shots are going to come from that side of the W and the doghouse.
That's where the picks were made. Now, my eyes are on the 1 and the 94. You got to be better in this one. Cooper Webb.
All right, time to be done with the talking. Let's drop the gate and go racing in Australia. And when it matters most, Tomac delivers with a great start. He's going to lead them. Eli Tomac on the #1 Red Bull KTM, but Haiden Deegan got a great start. He's right there in second. Haiden Deegan's going after the reigning world champion. Roczen with a terrible start. He's
Webb.
buried back in the pack.
With Cooper Webb. Boys, what are you doing back there? You got, big crash. You got 12 laps to make some moves, but Haiden Deegan versus Eli Tomac. Now, I don't know how this is going to go, but Ralph, this is a massive gap in generation right here. Oh, Christian Craig, these are buddies right here. Christian Craig was a coach of Haiden Deegan earlier this season, and he gets him
inside,
there.
He's got him, but Deegan bounces right back to challenge. And Haiden Deegan inside, gets back around Craig for a brief second. Craig got a whole big handful of throttle, got back around him again. And school is in session right now for Haiden Deegan, soaking all of this up.
Absolutely. What an opportunity, surrounded by 30-year-old and up legends. These guys have so much. Oh, it's Anderson. That's a bummer for the championship points. Wow.
Yeah. The Pipes Motorsports Group racer, Jason El Hombre Anderson, out. And Roczen has closed up pretty quick. Roczen finds himself in 6th behind Savacci.
Roczen just cased the triple so bad, went off the track, lost the spot.
Big bobble.
Christian
Craig is right there to try to capitalize. Craig on the 28. He's going to have the line on the inside. He's got the new leader.
Wow, nice work, Christian Craig.
Craig doing a great job, and he puts the quad lock Honda right to the front, and Yuriv Konski takes a big sigh of relief. His guys are leading at his home GP.
Absolutely, and if you're Christian Craig, you've heard us hype up Tomac and Deegan. You're probably thinking, you know what? Get me on that track. I'm getting better and better on my Honda. Give me a shot at these boys, and he just got by both of them in the early laps of this race. Nice work, Christian Craig.
Here's the points as we race. Craig and Tomac are tied at 35. Webb and Roczen right behind them. Whichever one of these guys wins this moto is basically going to win the overall.
Yeah, that pass was not only for the race win, but for the overall. We'll have to keep our eye on Webb and Roczen, because if they make some moves, they can put themselves in position too. But if you're Christian Craig, you can't worry about anybody but yourself right now, which is what he is doing. And he's doing a great job at it. 2 amazing passes, and now a little defense maybe, because Eli Tomac has recovered.
Well, the one thing Tomac's not going to do is panic. Eli Tomac will get himself in his rhythm and go after him. And here's Webb with Roczen right behind him. Those two running in 6th and 7th. And they got a lot of laps yet to go, so we'll see. Fitness is definitely going to come into play tonight. These guys have all trained hard, but they haven't ridden in this kind of heat and humidity in quite a while.
Yeah, 12 minutes isn't the issue as Roczen gets by, and that may have put him into the overall, but it's the heat, it's the humidity, it's just draining of sweat all day.
Looking at the championship standings as we're racing, Roczen leads it with 116. Craig behind with 95 in second. And there goes Roczen inside of Sabachi. Couldn't complete the pass yet.
And I'm telling you right now, Ken Roczen cased the triple so bad. And as a racer, when you land that hard on your feet, it takes a moment for you to regroup and say, hey, am I okay? Am I okay? It took him like 5 seconds, and he was back on the attack, which is what he's been all night long, going back to sprint race number 1. I mean, this guy is so fun to watch make passes, and we're going to have to see 2 big ones right here coming from Roczen.
Here's Arenda on the 20, and Sabachi.
Wow!
Roczen struggling to get around.
And look at the small box.
The upper box. Christian Craig and Tomac fighting. And Craig gets to the lead. Tomac hanging on in second.
Deegan is all over him and makes the pass.
Roczen on the screen here, fighting for 4th. And here's the battle you're hearing everybody screaming about. Deegan in front of Tomac. That's second. And in front of them is Christian Craig. There's the gap between 1st and 2nd, and you see the gap from 2nd to 3rd. Tomac didn't panic earlier, but now he better because he's got Deegan and Craig pulling away, and he's got Roczen closing up.
Absolutely, and Ken Roczen's passes put him in the position to win this overall. But Haiden Deegan just passed Eli Tomac. I mean, again, the generation gap, this battle we've been hyping up, we got it there as Christian Craig pulls away. But Haiden Deegan, through the whoops, I'm telling you, that is impressive for him on that 450, just learning that bike. Gnarliest set of whoops I've seen in a long time. Just muscling through them. What a run.
And here comes Webb on that number 2, and keep an eye on him because he could get into this overall without necessarily winning the race here in race number 3 as Deegan just continues to climb up 3 spots now. The positions gained.
I mean,
and Roczen up 8, even after casing the triple.
You know, Ralph, testing the temperament. Deegan went down in race 2, okay? To be able to bounce back from that 20 minutes, 30 minutes later, and go and regroup, and then make a pass on Eli Tomac, that tells you a lot about his character, his temperament, his mentality. This right here is proof of what he will be doing in this 450 class. He is a dog, and this is proof right here.
No doubt about it, there is a bright, bright future on a 450 in front of Haiden Deegan. And it's really going to kick off in the summer of 2026 when he races the Outdoor Championship in the United States on a 450 full-time. Back to the 250 for Supercross in the U.S. in January, and he'll get ready for a 450. So maybe we'll get lucky, Daniel, where the next time we see Haiden Deegan on a 450 in a Supercross race will be another FIM World Supercross race in the fall of 2026, which would be exciting as well.
You better be careful. He may perform himself onto it sooner. I mean, look at these two. I mean, we're talking about 2 of the best in Supercross over the last 10 years. The amount of race wins, Eli's 2nd on the list all time, and Haiden he's just one of them.
And for Ken Roczen, if he can get Tomac here at the end of this one, it would be huge for him as Tomac and Roczen battling one more time here in FIM World Supercross competition in 2025. Roczen into the whoops. Here he comes. He's got him. That's a huge mental moment for Ken Roczen to know he put it to the reigning world champ.
Yeah, and for the overall, that puts him in position, guarantees it. But I will say, Eli Tomac is having some struggles in that whoop section, and we saw in Vancouver, they made some little adjustments, as did he. He got better. This is a big test right here on how they respond after this race, because this has not been great. This has been a tough race for him. Not working really well in the whoops. This is a dry condition, which was not Vancouver. A lot of tape going to be studied.
Down goes the 98 machine of Austin Politelli. That's a tough break for him. Roczen trying to catch Deegan. Here's Deegan closing on the 38. And Roxon's behind him. The riders have to roll through that section, waving medical flags like that, and the bike down the center of the track. Coming soon to the final lap.
You know, Ralph, if you look at Haiden Deegan's Supercross Pass 2, I think he's been better in soft conditions where aggression really works. Dry conditions has been tougher for him. You put him on that 450 with that power in these dry conditions. What a test pass.
Looking to win the event here, Daniel. He sits third in the race. That would give him 2 points over Craig, who might win race number 3. But the overall, looking to go to Ken Roczen. Here's Savacci holding on right now in front of Webb. That's a fight for 5th. Cooper's right there.
Still fighting late. You're right. These conditions, this weather, being tested right now.
And Roczen has gotten around Deegan. Oh no, he was working past the slower bike, I believe is what it was. We're watching in that small screen on the final lap is underway. Here's Webb.
You know, poor Christian Craig, not a lot of TV time when you check out like that, but Ralph, what a race. Big picture for his career. This is a massive moment. He knows it. You see that? It's a happy man.
Checker flag, and Christian Craig lights the candles at the Australian GP with the win here in race number 3. Haiden Deegan with an incredible second place run as he bounces back, and Ken Roczen will get his 5th overall win as he claims the event here at the Australian GP for 2025 on the Gold Coast. What a night of competition here. So many storylines.
We saw so much happen, and there's so much to be happy about for each rider, and so much to study and learn from too. I mean, Christian Craig didn't have a perfect night. He ended strong. There's some weaknesses that he could fix early in the night, but he ended strong. Deegan was great, had his issues. Tomac, Roczen, bad starts for Kenny. I mean, so much to digest. What an amazing night of Supercross racing.
And for Christian Craig, that is, I believe, his first career FIM World Supercross victory in a race. Not the overall, but in a single race. And Ken Roczen on the Pipes Motorsports Group entry gets the overall victory here in Australia. Doesn't get the race win, but gets the overall. The 2-time World Supercross champ. And taking a look at the highlights here as this one got underway. Thought Tomac was really going to have something here as he got a really good start, Daniel.
Yeah, he answered the question. Can you figure out that bike and that start for race 3? And he did, but just had kind of a weird off race where he didn't look comfortable. He wasn't aggressive. These two, this is where the aggression was. I mean, Christian Craig, Haiden Deegan, and look at Deegan. He's just throwing it in there with these guys saying, you know what, I'm one of you now. I'm going to play the game.
You know what I liked about Deegan in this one? He didn't look back as much as he did in that second race.
You mentioned Brian. I would be shocked if Brian Deegan didn't go back and said, boy, when you make passes, you look forward for the next guy. And that's what, hey, that team has done very well in their pro career together. Brian's a smart man. I wouldn't be surprised if that wasn't discussed.
Yep. Well, we said he was here to learn, and he did, and he showed that he got an A on his final exam, didn't he?
Yeah, hey, that's right. Fourth quarter before college, or before the summertime.
Yep.
Get an A in the report card. Oh, there's that crash.
Man, that was big for Politelli. And Christian Craig.
Yeah.
There it is, lighting the candles, and he knows I'm a winner in FIM World Supercross competition.
And that's bigger than just tonight. And that's cool, too. Christian Craig was coaching Haiden Deegan earlier this year. Now they race together and go 1-2. What a moment.
Yeah, you got a couple lessons left to teach you, son. Let's go to Kristen.
Ken Roczen, our overall winner on the night. Ken, you were the most consistent rider tonight. Week in and week out, you're that guy. What does that take during the week to show up big on a weekend like this?
I mean, a lot of hard work. Like, we really have been working super hard. I've always been getting pretty good off the gate, but then kind of got closed off. And with this dirt, how tight the start is, like, it decides basically within a thousandth of a second, you know. Then once you roll, like, the entire section afterwards, in the second main, I just took my time. Like, people are cross-jumping left and right, so it was hard to just attack, but I'm pretty pumped. It's really good practice to come from behind and make passes happen, and this is what I've done pretty much almost all of the weekend. So really happy with my riding. I crushed the whoops, and yeah, pumped to get away with the overall.
Ken, I dare say you're riding better now than maybe you ever have in your career. Does it feel that way for you?
I believe so. I think, you know, back when I was younger, I was really fast. And it's a little bit hard to compare, but I do feel like I'm a more rounded racer at the moment, comfortable in my own skin and making smarter decisions.
The racecraft showing up big tonight at the Australian GP for Ken Roczen. Christian Craig, a defining win in GP Race 3. I would almost guess emotional. It's been a while since you've taken a GP race win, whether it be here or in the States. How meaningful is it?
Yeah, it means a lot for sure. I can sit here and give you a lot of stories of why I shouldn't be racing dirt bikes right now, but we're here. I just beat some legends, some champions, and proved that I can still do this. And man, that was so much fun. I've known Haiden for a long time. We're pretty close friends, so to have him pacing me, I'm happy for him. Also, everybody else that was racing. Tough second moto, but rebounded in that third one, and first win in a long time. So we'll take this and go to Sweden next weekend.
You said at the beginning of this season you feel like you're starting to maybe find yourself again. What is it about this team that's allowing you to do that?
Yeah, it's for sure the whole quad lock AMX Superstore Honda. Yariv just believing in me. I was in some crappy situations early on, but we're not going to complain. We're here in a good spot. I have a good team behind me and people that want me on their team. So shout out to the people that counted me out, people that I thought were close to me. This one's for you.
Christian Craig, second overall on the night. Congratulations on your first podium of the season after 2 fourths overall. To finally make the podium is a huge accomplishment for Christian Craig. And now, Cooper Webb in your World Supercross debut. The format was new for you. The bike even was new for you on a brand new chassis. How did you find yourself on the podium after such a big night full of new things to learn and adjustments?
Yeah, it was overall a good night. You know, I was able to get that one win in the second one, but I was a little bad at myself that ride. Just didn't get the start I needed. Went into the last race with a chance to win it all and didn't execute. It was all about the whoops tonight and getting starts, and I didn't execute either one of those in the last one. So I'm a little bummed at myself, but overall the experience has been awesome. These fans were great. The racing was action-packed, and hopefully I can be back for more. I want to give it up to the whole Star Racing team, Monster Energy, my mechanic Peanut, Fly Racing, 100%, Alpine Stars, my wife, and yeah, like I said, we'll take the podium, even though I'm a little disappointed with that last moto. But yeah, we'll get ready for the domestic series now and get to work.
And that will round out your Australian GP podium in the SX1 class. But before we round it out, we're going to go ahead and talk to Haiden Deegan. I spoke with your dad at the conclusion of that race, and he said that's how we wanted to end it. That's the Haiden Deegan we're used to seeing, but a night full of adversity. How deep did you have to dig to find yourself third in that GP race?
Yeah, I don't really want to get into exactly what I had to deal with today, but get to this point, but I'm just going to say this. I was battling with Eli Tomac, and I was like a little kid. I was like in shock the whole time. Like, I just passed Eli Tomac. I just passed Eli Tomac. I was tripping the whole time. That was badass. But anyways, good job to Christian, man. I know he's been through a lot, so to see that happen, I felt like a happy son. But yeah, that was good. We fought hard, and yeah, it was awesome.
Haiden, well done. Way to close out the night.
Wow, so much to unpack. Let's start with that interview right there. Haiden genuinely, I think, was having the time of his life racing with the legend, but I feel like you do that once or twice, and all of a sudden, Jace, the standard will change, and you'll be like, wait, I am one of you, and now it doesn't feel that way. And to me, I saw enough to say, that kid is going to be a man on a 450, and his mentality is going to carry him to a lot of success on that bike.
Argentina was good. Let's be fair. He first 450 race and he gets on the podium. This was better than good.
Yeah.
Raw speed. And I loved what you said on the broadcast. You said traditionally he kind of struggles with some of the slicker dirt. You give him an extra 200 cc's of displacement and he is moving earth out there. Honestly, I talk for a living. I'm borderline speechless on just how good tonight was.
I am so fulfilled with so many different stories. Like, that would be one.
Where do you go?
Well, let's go to the top of that race, Christian Craig. That was more than just getting a win. Like, he has a lot of reasons why he maybe shouldn't be racing, whether it was injuries or people not believing in him. What happened with him last year, he's been pretty respectful about how that situation went down. But Christian Craig is back, and that's the Christian that I remember riding a Honda a long time ago. I've always seen him different on the Honda. He makes everything look good, but he looks great on that bike, and that was aggressive, and his career is like reset and rebounded in one race.
He was damaged goods just months ago, you know, and what we saw tonight from him was unbelievable.
Ken Roczen, points leader, 122. Craig up to 95 in second. Sabachi, Anderson, and Aranda rounding out the top 5 in championship points.
And the winning team here on the Gold Coast for the 2025 Australian GP is Quadlock Honda.
Quadlock Honda gets the win. A lot of talk tonight from Yariv on the pressure he put on his riders. Boys, get it together. Get it together. Well, that's got to feel good right there.
Well, and he's one of the more underrated team managers. The guys that want to ride for him, that's very rare in this sport.
Yeah, great ride by Shane McElrath in SX2 to bounce back. He needed that. Joey had a rough night, but he fought late. I still think that there's more to come from him. And, of course, Christian Craig. Cooper Webb was good, too, but that last start that's bad for Cooper Webb. We don't see that often. Him and Kenny back there outside of the top 10. I thought he figured something out, and then he lost that in race 3.
Well, and I guess it just goes to show just how challenging the conditions were. We saw how great Joey Sabachi was early, and then just some things outside of his control that made it harder in the races.
Absolutely. I mean, again, so many riders started bad, ended strong. Started great, ended bad. Lost it, got it back. That man right there, though.
This is special.
Yeah, very, very special for Christian Craig. And the good thing, too, is he's physically been through it also. He's had some injuries, and he looks young and spunky.
He rode away from Eli Tomac and Haiden Deegan.
The SX1 class here at the Australian GP.
Yeah, Mr. Resilient, we'll call him. I'm telling you, he cased that triple so bad in race 3. He had terrible starts. He just never stopped digging, made passes. He is so fun to watch make passes. He earned this victory. This was probably one of the tougher ones of his career.
And if we go back, we don't have all the data right here, right now. If we go back and we dig through the data, I would say he's the fastest guy tonight.
That's fair to say. I mean, he made more passes than anybody. At the end of the day, results don't lie. Kenny Roczen wins again. That's 2 now on the season.
Please stand if you are able for the national anthem of Germany.
And Cooper Webb, 1, 2, 3 on the night, all happy for different reasons. Good job, Cooper Webb, too. First World Supercross. Great race, too. Was very smart tonight, too. I mean, he's always smart. That's kind of his MO, but He was calculated, did what he needed to do, be on the podium. But I will say, he's going to probably go back and go, those starts weren't great, race 1 and race 3.
Well, and you saw him visibly upset on the podium. I think he knows that he let a win slip away from him. Something tells me that is not the last time we will see Cooper Webb in a World Supercross event.
I believe he loves racing around the world. He's here with his wife. I mean, what an amazing life he's living right now. And I do think that he's one of those riders that understands how the sport has changed. These riders are racing later and deeper in their career. Cooper Webb's also very smart, calculated guy. I think Supercross is going to go a long, long ways for him. And yes, I believe he will be back.
And how about this guy? I mean, he was absolutely flawless tonight. Not flawless in executing all of the starts,
right,
but in the way that he managed the chaos that was inevitable on a night as difficult as this.
And it shows his resilience. We know he has that. We've watched his whole career. Think about the injuries. It's so far removed from our memory, but he bounced back from that after years and years of suffering. So you know who he is and what type of person and racer he is. So when he gets a bad start, you can't doubt a guy like that. If he can come back from what he did in his life, you think he can't come back from a bad start? Of course he can, and he proved it tonight multiple times.
And this, to me, when I look at the shots of him on the podium, I just think of a famous saying by Travis Pastrana, winners win. Tonight, Ken Roczen, winners win, mate.
Winners win. That's his second win of the season. The celebration continues. Don't forget, you can catch us on the debrief show right here from the desk. We'll get to talk to these boys, watch their race back, get into the details of what went right and what went wrong from the Gold Coast, Australia Supercross. For Ralph Shaheen, Chris and Beat, Jace McElpie, hey, I had a great job, or a great time doing this job with you tonight. A lot of fun, and we will catch you all on the debrief show, and we'll catch you next week from